I've got Lance Shannon, Kale Curtis, and Matthew Hyers with me in the studios, and for the next hour we're going to talk about Ram baseball and the various things that have made it a success in 1994. Of course, yesterday's victory 7-5 over the Clark Central Gladiators. And first of all, Lance, we'll talk to you about last night's game against Clark Central, 5-5. In that last inning, the Rams come back and rally for 2 runs. How much of a momentum builder is that?
Well, it just definitely gave us a boost going to the bottom of the 7th. We needed to score runs, and fortunately with 2 outs, Ryan Allen got something started with a double down the line, and he kind of made a mistake on me and gave me a pitch to drive, and I took it and scored that run, and Sam Allen came with a big hit behind me and scored that. So we had to score a run, because if not, they would have had the momentum going to the bottom of the 7th. So, I mean, it's either tie or win for them, so they couldn't lose the game. So that was definitely a big momentum for us going to the bottom of the 7th.
And the Rams sort of light shy, as it were, because of the sun that was going down the third base side. And of course, we had that trouble against the Berkmar Patriots. And Matt, we'll talk to you about the Berkmar game, which ended up in an 8-8 tie. Really, the Rams, I had 10-8, but the umpire calling the game in the bottom half of the 8th inning because of darkness. But you had a 3-for-3, technically a 4-for-4 performance, also hit by a pitch and scored a couple of runs as well. But that one, sort of a disappointing game for the Rams, but the one good part about it, the bats came alive. And did that really make an effect as far as the Clark Central game and subsequent games are concerned?
Yes, because it showed that we had the ability to come back. Now, if we get down, we were down by 5 runs going into the 5th inning, I think it was. And so then we put up a 2 spot in that inning, and then came back in the 7th and scored 5. So now we know that we can come back and score runs on a region quality pitcher. So that gave us a big boost right there. So hopefully we can take that and build from that.
Was it a relief to have the bats come alive in the last few innings?
Yes, it was. We were getting kind of worried there, but I knew we could come around because I knew that pitcher could stop us.
Ram bats have had some trouble at various times this year, but they've also had some offensive outpours in various games. But the pitching has been the thing that's carried the Rams for a good portion of the year. And Kale Curtis, the Ram pitching staff, much deeper than last year. 4 quality starters now, and of course you'll be getting the start on Monday against the Rockdale Bulldogs. But what is the difference between this year and last year in terms of last year having only really 1 quality starter and this year being so deep?
We can count on more than like 1 or 2 starters. We had like 4 or 5, and we can plan on them going like the whole game, and we don't really have to have a relief pitcher. And they throw more strikes and a lot more than we did last year.
You think that takes some?
Yeah, it has to, because they're not scoring like maybe 2 or 3 runs.
There have been a lot of 2-1 and 3-2 ball games like the one against Brookwood, and so the pitching is at various times really carried the team this year. We're going to be back in just a minute and talk some more about the other sub-region games and other games that have happened outside the sub-region, notably Oconee County's doubleheader a few Saturdays back and the Eagles Landing game last Saturday. Newton County Rams' next action is against the Rockdale Bulldogs on Monday at 5 o'clock. The game will be at Riverside Park. Myself and Mr. Bill Dolan in the control center will be on the play-by-play for that one, weather permitting, here on WGFS. We'll be back right after this.
And you are listening to WGFS AM 1430 as we bring you a new feature this morning, Senior Chatter, as Kevin Holden talks to several of the seniors from the Newton County Rams baseball team.
Okay, Bill, thank you very much, and we are back with Lance Shannon, Matthew Hyers, and Kale Curtis on this Saturday morning. We currently have 13 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock. 3 of the 6 Rams seniors here. The other 3 will join us in a couple of Saturdays from right now. That is Matt Taylor, Chris Acox, and Judd Hall, and we'll be talking with the 3 of them a few weeks from now. But for right now, I've got these 3 Ram seniors here, and we're talking about Ram baseball and the sub-region schedule. And we'll start with the game against Shiloh, since we've talked about this week's games in pretty much great detail. The game against Shiloh, a 7-2 victory, as the Rams got a chance to see a left-hander and hit him very well in the first couple innings. And first of all, Matt Hyers, how about Tig Reeder? The first couple innings walked some folks, but the Rams, good offense in that game as well.
Yes, we faced him last year, and I knew he was going to have control problems going in. And so he walked the first 2 batters, which was me and Ron Allen. And he started Ron Allen lead off that day to get it a little bit, because he knew it was going to be wild, so he'd get a couple base runners and stuff. And so we had 2 runners on, and then Shannon comes up and gets a hit. And we just go from there. We scored 7 runs that game, I believe. So that was a big boost, because we just came off from losing to, who we lost to that day? The game before that? Yeah, we lost to South that Wednesday before that, so we needed that winner.
And that win against Shiloh put the Rams in good position, along with the victory over Clark Central yesterday. Now, Lance, we'll talk about the Brookwood game, which had happened before that, where the Rams picked up a 2-1 victory. They went on the road to Brookwood, where they traditionally played well, but a low-scoring affair, one of those quick-moving ball games, and really an exciting one. The last couple innings, Judd Hall coming in and shutting him down. Was that a big boost for the Rams?
Oh yeah, definitely, because that was the day after the loss to South. Well, we had lost 2 straight, and we needed a good pitching performance, definitely. We faced Brewers got some good pitchers. They're not great, but they're good. And we hadn't been hitting the ball, and Judd came in and really gave us what we needed. He did everything he could, and he went out and took the game. He didn't wait for us to score runs. He just went out and just stopped in the whole game, and that's pretty much his game right there. He won that one. He deserved it, you know.
And of the other schools in the region where we go on the road to play, what is your favorite school to play at in terms of your performances at the schools?
Really? Well, I've always played good at Burtmore, even though the other night we tied the game with our team has never played good at Burtmore, but as far as team-wise, we usually play good at Shiloh. We usually play good there. That's our last away game of the year, and it's probably going to be a big game for us this year too. So if we keep playing good up there, then we'll be all right.
Matt, your favorite place to play in the sub-region?
I like playing at South. It's just a fun place to go out and play.
Kale, how about your favorite place in South? South Gwinnett's got a very nice field and a shallow right field porch, so hopefully when we go up there and play Wednesday, Kale, you being a left-handed batter, and you too, Lance, and Matt being a switch hitter, hopefully you guys will get a chance to knock some over that 265-foot wall in right field at South Gwinnett. And the Rams have played traditionally well there. Last year they lost on a steal of home, but a very close game throughout the game, and of course they'll get their chance to take the revenge out on South Gwinnett next Wednesday when they go up there. Well, we'll talk about the first game now against South Gwinnett, and Kale, we'll talk to you about that. It's a 3-1 loss in that ball game, and a very good pitching performance from Matt Taylor. But in the last couple innings, South Gwinnett putting 3 runs across. Rams had an early 1-0 lead, but came out on the short end.
Yeah, Matt really pitched good that game. They really didn't score till like the last couple of innings. They just punched little base hits through runs in. But Matt really showed. I think he showed Coach Bear that he was really ready. That's the best pitching performance I've ever seen him throw. He did real good.
And Matt Taylor with the complete game there, but unfortunately picking up the loss. But of course, as we mentioned, they'll get a chance to atone for that this coming Wednesday. Now, Matt Hyers talking about the Rockdale game. We went up there, another quick affair by about an hour and 40 minutes. The Rams came up 1 run short there, and really some bad luck for the Rams. There was an error and a questionable call, and then a home run by one of the Rockdale players, and really that one could have gone either way.
Yes, we had first and third. We were in the field playing defense, and we have a play. We run plays, and we had a play where if the guy comes through, we're going straight through and tag him out, but the guy stops halfway and he runs back to first. So Brian throws it through, and I get it, and I throw it to first, and it looked like we had him out by stump, but apparently not. Umpire said it was safety, and this guy's a 3-run homer, so that was just bad luck for us. But we should have jumped on Derek Frazier more than we did, but we didn't, and then we let Zach come in and close the door, so we should have really hit Derek, though.
And while we're talking about the Rockdale game from a couple of Fridays ago, let's talk about this Monday's game against the Bulldogs. This one now becomes huge in the sub-region because of the fact that Rockdale has now gone out and beaten South Gwinnett and Brookwood and Shiloh, is what I heard just a couple of minutes ago. And so now they're right in the hunt in the sub-region.
They are. They're right there in it. We got to beat them this Monday. It's a big game for us. And then if we can beat Brookwood and Shiloh, then we're right there at it. We can take the title. But if not, then we're going to have to get some luck somewhere.
Kale, what do you think our keys are to beating Rockdale? What's the number one thing we have to have?
We just need, as long as our bats come around, hopefully, as long as I throw strikes, I think our bats will be all right.
You'll get a chance to face Rockdale head-to-head as you're starting that game on Monday. And Lance, what do you think is our key for the game?
Well, definitely, I think Kale can hold him the way he's been pitching lately. Nobody can hit him. If we just go out and score the runs we should, no matter who's pitching against. If we hit the ball, we can hit any pitcher. And if we go out and be aggressive at the plate, which is a real key for us, we be aggressive and do the things that's capable to score runs, and score runs will win the game. That's all it is to it.
That's right. This Ram team has been competitive with everyone they've played. They've been equal or above just about everybody they've played this year. There's been no team that's really dominated the Rams in any particular game. And Kale, while we're talking about good pitching performances, let's talk about Eagles Landing last Saturday. No walks and 13 strikeouts in your 6 innings. You had to be in the zone that night.
Yeah, that's really the best I've ever felt. I think that's the best I've thrown the balls since I've been in high school. I've always walked, I know, at least 5 batters a game. That's the first time I've ever not really walked anybody. I don't know, that really made me feel good that I could throw the ball that good.
Did you sense any physical differences between that performance and other games?
I mean, not really. I felt the same, but they was not. Eagles Land was not as good as a hitting team as much as our sub-region is. But I don't know. It was. I guess it was really the same.
Well, nonetheless, that performance, 6 innings and 13 strikeouts, and you'll get a chance against Rockdale on Monday. And watching them the first time around, who are the toughest batters in their order to face?
Just Barry Fowler and what's their catcher, Chad Moon? And Zach Frazier. They're all good hitters.
And Rockdale is on a streak, so Kale Curtis, Lance Shannon, Matthew Hyers, and the Rams team going to try to stop Rockdale on Monday. That game is at Riverside Park at 5 o'clock. You can hear it live on WGFS. We'll be back with more right after this.
And you're listening to Senior Chatter, a new feature here on WGFS AM 1430. The time is 22 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock, and we have 58 degrees outside the broadcast center. Now let's send it back to Kevin Holden and several of the Rams seniors. Take it away, Kevin.
Okay, Bill, thank you very much. I'm here with Kale Curtis, Matthew Hyers, and Lance Shannon from the Newton County High School Rams baseball team. 15-3 with one tie. It's been a great year. They're ranked number 9 in the state according to the latest baseball polls by the Atlanta Journal and Constitution. Rams 7-5 victors over the Clark Central Gladiators, and after the game, the team stopping at a local food establishment to eat, and yours truly left a establishment, so no statistics for us today. We're going to just go on without the statistics. We're a team and not a collection of individuals, as somebody that you folks know very well has once said. Now, Kale, we'll start with talking to you about the other people on this Ram team who have made a difference, because really it has been a team effort and a lot of folks have contributed. Who outside of the senior class has been the big contributors this year?
Really, our second baseman, Ryan Allen, he bats second, and he's really been a consistent hitter this year. He comes through in clutch situations and gets on. Like last night, he came through with 2-out doubles and got her inning started, and then we ended up scoring 2 runs off of it. So he's really contributed to a big part of our hitting and defense.
And Lance, any other folks on the team who have been big contributors?
I think a pleasant surprise for me, especially because he bats behind me, Sam Allen. He did everything we as a cleanup hitter can do. He's second on the team in RBIs. He drives a lot of runs, and he's got a great arm sometimes, you know, and when he's accurate. And he's also a great person to have on the team. He's energetic. He's high. I mean, off the field, a lot of things happen off the field that helps the team too. And he's got a great personality. He's a great friend to everybody. And he can't complain about it playing. He's a great ball player, and he definitely will be next year. You know.
And not only that, Sam Allen had an 11-game.
But he came out and been pitching real well. He's only got that one loss, and one of the losses wasn't really a loss when he pitched to Rockdale. Had that freak home run and was hit, and so he did well. And then Brian Moon, our catcher and third baseman, he's been stable the whole year like he was last year. He switch hits, and he's just been a great player.
In 1995, of course, you folks will be moving on to bigger and better things, but the Rams team will be back for another 95 season. We'll go around and talk to the three of you now about your predictions for 95. Of course, it's a little early to look forward to next year. We've still got plenty of this year left, including 6 more games and a region tournament as well, and hopefully beyond that. But in terms of 95, Matt, what do you think Rams going to look like?
Well, they have pretty good pitching. Cawthon's going to be a great pitcher, and Sam's going to hit the ball, and Ryan Allen's going to be good. Ryan Allen's been a second for 2 years. They might move him to short, but I don't know how they're going to do. And Sam's little brother Luke's going to be coming up. He's a great player, and they're going to have a pretty solid team. Claire's going to be good. They're going to have a good team next year.
Kale, your thoughts about the Rams in 95?
About the same. They'll have about 5 or 6 pitchers. I don't know. They won't be like the starting rotation, but they'll still have a lot of depth. They'll have a good many underclassmen that's coming up that can pitch. But they'll be all right.
And Lance, the Rams in 1995, your thoughts?
Well, like I said, they're losing some studs on the mound. You know, we got about 3 or 4 seniors that can really throw it, but their hitting is going to be great. And plus, they got the pitch. They got good enough pitching, and I think a lot of the sub-region opponents this year are losing a lot of pitchers that are seniors this year that are tough pitchers. I know there's still some like Frazier for Rockdale will be back, and he'll be about unhittable next year. But as far as overall team, they're looking great for next year.
And have you noticed in the sub-region this year that there's been a lot more pitching and a lot less offense in general?
Yes, that's true. We just got some big studs on the mound this year in our region. So, I mean, that's usually the case a lot of times in this region. It's one of the best regions.
Now, I've got another question to ask you here, and I'm not asking this to Kale or Matt because they might be just a little bit biased far as this question is concerned, but from an offensive standpoint, how much does having this deep and very talented pitching staff mean to you and the offense?
Well, it means a lot, but sometimes we kind of let up a little bit when we shouldn't, because we think they're going to hold the team down to 2 runs. So once we get 3 runs, we just, we kind of lackadaisy around. We don't really go after it like we should, but it's always good to have a good pitching staff behind you. We score 3 runs and still win the ball game. So.
We'll be back after Georgia Network News and talk some more with the Newton County Rams seniors, Lance Shannon, Matthew Hyers, and Kale Curtis, and we will be back right after this.
Kevin Holden chats with several of this year's seniors from the Newton County Rams baseball team.
Okay, Bill, thank you very much. And we are here with 3 seniors from the Newton County Rams baseball team, Lance Shannon, Kale Curtis, and Matthew Hyers, and we're talking about Ram baseball in general. We've been talking during the break about the Newton County Rams, and these folks have been now in there for several years playing under Coach Beverly and in this Newton County Ram program, and I wanted to get the reflections of these 3 folks on 4 years of playing in the program. Lance, we'll start with you.
Oh, well, it's known throughout the region and the state as a good baseball program, and it has been since Coach Beverly arrived. I have respect for him. He's a good coach. He tries to coach to what kind of team he's got. If he's got a speedy team, he'll steal a lot of bases. If he's got a pitching team, he's used to pitching. And we have trouble sometimes as a program getting money, but like a lot of the Gwinnett schools, they don't have to worry about that. But we do, and we try to raise enough so we can have an effective program with the freshmen and JV and varsity.
Kale, your thoughts on the years that you've played for Coach Beverly?
I like it a lot. He's a real good coach. He shows us what we're doing wrong, what we need to do, and everything. He's a real good person. This year he really started getting on us. Like the last couple of games, we hadn't been scoring runs, and he's been getting on us, making us score. I like that when Coach has to make us score. Better like that.
And Coach Beverly, being a pitching coach originally, probably helps you out as much as he does anybody. He'll help the pitchers out tremendously, I'm sure, with his knowledge of pitching.
Yes, he's a great pitcher. He really knows a lot about it.
And Matt, your thoughts about being in the program for the Newton County Rams, and you've got an older brother and a younger brother who've been involved in the program as well. So you've had more than 4 years, really.
Right. My parents have been there a while in Newton County High School, and what he really turned around was the baseball field. The field used to be, people wouldn't even come want to play in Newton County because the field was so bad. And now he's been turning around to one of the best fields in the state, we believe, because it's nice. If you come out and came out and seen it, and you come out and look at it, it's a great field. And I've enjoyed playing 4 years under him, and I've just had a great time.
And now, after 4 years and reflecting back, now we look forward to the future and what is going to be going on post-high school and in terms of these 3 folks. And Kale, first of all, your plans for once you get out of high school?
I really haven't made any definite plans. I've looked at a couple of junior colleges, but I really haven't decided on what I'm going to do.
Matt, your thoughts about post-high school?
Well, I've signed with Middle Georgia to go down there and play college baseball down there, and so look forward to doing it.
And Lance, post-high school?
Well, I know the Georgia Tech coach is coming to watch Monday, and if he offers me anything good, that's probably where I'll be next year. If not, I'm looking maybe some junior colleges around too. Maybe Emory with Anthony Green. So.
For the most part, you're looking at quality players and a quality program, and you can tell that the program produces the quality players and fine folks as well. And a lot of folks from Newton County go on to play baseball at the collegiate ranks and even beyond. And Matt, I wanted to talk about Tim Hyers, your brother, who's been in San Diego and playing with the Padres and got his first hit a couple of nights ago. Have you been in contact with him at all this week?
Yes, sir. He's called a couple times, and my parents have been really excited about it. Like I said in the paper, Stephen had to come and get us out of bed because I had a game the next day, and I wasn't going to stay up and watch him at 1:30 in the morning because it was pretty hectic at times around our house. So we got a couple phone calls and got his first hit and got his first game. So it was just a great feeling. I mean, he was really pumped when he called and said that they saved his first major league hit, the ball and stuff. And so he said they wrote a bunch of crazy stuff on all the players. And he said they're having a great time, even though they lost 4 to the Braves. He said that they think it's got the other ball, which is the original hit. He thinks they got it saved. They're going to give it to him later and stuff. So he's really having a great time.
What was his response when he told you about his first hit?
He really didn't say much. He wanted to get that first hit, his first at bat. He told him that the hitting coach told him he was going to bust you inside with a fastball. So he said he was looking dead red. He was going to try to turn on a fastball, but Maddox didn't change up outside, so he didn't get a hit then. But he said it just It's like a dream come true getting in one hit.
Do you see him getting some more playing time in San Diego this year?
I hope so. They said they want him there for the future and stuff, so hopefully he'll get a couple more at-bats and get a chance to see what he can do.
Well, it's a good place for him to be, too, because San Diego building for the future, and they're going to build around the young core of players, and Tim Hyers certainly is going to be one of those players. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes and talk more with the Newton County Rams seniors right after this on WGFS AM 1430.
WGFS AM 1430. You are listening to Senior Chatter, a new program with your host Kevin Holden as he talks to three of the seniors from this year's Newton County Ram baseball team. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, Bill, thanks very much. And we are back with three of the Newton County Ram seniors, Kale Curtis, Lance Shannon, and Matthew Hyers. And now we'll talk about the South Metro Tournament of 1994. For the third consecutive year, the Rams come out with the championship in the South Metro Tournament, and really a big boost for the program in general and for the individual players to have those three straight championships. And the senior class, of course, now for 3 straight years, as sophomores, juniors, and seniors can say that they were the South Metro Tournament champs. Really a point of pride this year. First of all, Lance Shannon, your thoughts about capturing the championship by beating Rockdale County by 15 runs.
Well, this year I don't think it was much of a surprise for us to win it. We kind of expected to win it from the get-go. But now it was a surprise beating Rockdale that bad. But, I wish we could beat them that bad Monday. But this South Metro Tournament is always good. We have been fortunate enough, all three of us have been fortunate enough to be on 3 straight championship teams. And it's a good tournament to win. It gets us some respect throughout the region. But this year I kind of want to finish it off this year and win the region and go on instead of just winning the South Metro, and that's it.
Traditionally, the Rams have opened very strong, especially in that South Metro. Kale, who do you think the toughest teams we played in the South Metro were?
Probably, I thought it would be Rockdale, but by the score you can really tell that it wasn't. I thought Barry Fowler was going to be more of a pitcher than he was. He really didn't have that great of a fastball. We really jumped on him early, made him bring the little Frazier in. But Jonesboro was a good win too. We had to fight real hard to get that.
And Matt, your thoughts about the toughest opponents that we played?
I thought Jonesboro was tough, and they were ranked in the top 10 at one time too. But it's a great tournament for teams and players to play and get recognition of by. Because my freshman year we came in second to Heritage, and so we were second or first in all 4 years. So that's a great tournament to play in.
Well, the Rams have that behind them, a South Metro championship for the 3rd straight year, and looking forward to the region tournament. And as far as the North sub-region is concerned, of course, we know about the South sub-region with South Gwinnett, Brookwood, of course, the Rams in there, and Rockdale sneaking up on the pack as well. As far as the north side of the sub-region, Lance, from what you've heard and what you've seen, who are the teams to beat up there?
Well, most of the time it's about the same this year as it always is. Usually Parkview's strong. Usually Heritage is strong. I think they're 5-3 or 6-3 in the sub-region. And I know Central Gwinnett beat Heritage the other day. I'm not sure how their season's going, but I know they beat Heritage. So within the 3 teams, they'll probably be in the tournament. Usually they always are.
And Kale, if the Rams do get a chance to play the Heritage Patriots, is there a revenge factor involved there?
Yes, we really have it. We really rival them pretty much. So it'll really be a great game.
Matt, how about the other tough teams on the north side, such as Parkview? Your thoughts about those squads?
Parkview, I hadn't heard much about the other side, but I know that Parkview's in first right now, and which they always have been. So we lost to Heritage last year, so if they beat South, I want them bad. We got to beat them. We want to play them in the playoffs.
Well, as far as predictions from the south side of the sub-region, who do you think the 3 teams will be?
I think it ought to be us, Brookwood, probably us, Brookwood, and South, I believe.
Any differences to you guys? Brookwood, South, Newton County is the 3 teams. So there you heard it, predictions. And while we're on the subject of predictions, let's move on to the professional ranks. And I wanted to get the opinions on the major leagues. And, of course, you guys know what's going on as far as the major leagues are concerned and different divisions and who should be the contending teams. And, Lance, first of all, in the National League East, and finally they got that worked out where the Braves are in the East and not over in the Western Division. They got it geographically correct. Who are the big contenders in the NL East?
Well, I don't think there's going to be no stopping the Braves this year. They got some young talent up, and pitching's got another year on under their belt. But they have some good competition. Montreal Expos and the Philadelphia Phillies are both good. And you know Philadelphia Phillies are good. But I don't think there's going to be no stopping Braves in the East this year. I think they'll go all the way this year.
How about the NL Central?
NL Central, well, that division's up for grabs. You got Houston, who else? You got Florida, not a bad. Chicago Cubs, and that division's up for grabs. Whoever plays best, who's going to win that division, I guess.
And the Western Division, has one good, strong team and one other contending team.
Yeah, the Giants are probably the powerhouse. They're the strong team. They're favored to win it. But the Dodgers could win it. They've improved a lot. They got some young talent, Mike Piazza and all them. So maybe the Padres, but one of our players on there.
How about over in the American League? Now, we won't go division by division, mostly because we're still sort of getting acclimated to which teams are in what divisions. But in terms of the league championship, who do you think are the best team or the best two teams over there?
Well, Toronto's stacked this year. They got two. I mean, they lost a couple players, but the two they got this year from the minor leagues are just unbelievable. They're great talent. They have Toronto, and I don't think there's going to be no stopping them over there.
Okay, we'll move to Matt now and talk about the National League West, Central, and East, and your thoughts about who's going to win those three divisions.
Yes, I think the Braves will win there. So Braves win the East. I think Houston might win the Central. And man, San Francisco is always tough. We got Bonds, which is won MVP the last 3 years, and he's a great player. He's dominating, boy. He's thrilled to watch. And then over in the American League, I think the Blue Jays are pretty tough. They got two players, two rookies that are great. Delgado hit a 445-foot shot the other day and stuff. And so it's going to be the American League's up for grabs. And they got two new parks. And the Indians got a great park, and then who's over. That's about it.
Kale, your thoughts on the two teams that might play in the World Series this year?
Braves and Toronto.
And who's going to win that one?
Braves.
Atlanta Braves, you heard it right here from the expert ball players from the Newton County Rams. We'll be back to wrap it up in just a couple of minutes. Newton County Ram baseball coming up Monday at 5 o'clock p.m. as they take on the Rockdale Bulldogs from Riverside Park at Newton County High School. You can hear it live on WGFS. We'll be right back.
Now, 8 minutes before the hour of 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, we will have CBS News on the hour for you. Meanwhile, you're listening to Senior Chatter as Kevin Holden is talking with three of the seniors from this year's Newton County Rams baseball team. Take it away, Kevin.
Okay, Bill, we appreciate it very much on this Saturday morning. Senior Chatter with three of the Newton County Rams seniors, Lance Shannon, Cale Curtis, Matthew Hyers. And we've been talking about Ram baseball for the last hour. If you didn't get a chance to tune in, we want you to listen in Monday at 5 o'clock as the Rams take on the Rockdale Bulldogs. First of all, Kale, we got to talk about the doubleheader against Oconee County, really the only game we haven't discussed so far in our discussions of all the past games that we've had. And that game, those two games, really, your games as you hit a home run in the first one, then came on and threw 5 1/3 quality innings in the second game. And another day, another Saturday game in which you must really felt in the zone and felt good about those performances.
Well, it's always nice to get, that was my first win of the season, so it's always nice to get your first win. And really, that's the first game that I've really thrown more than 1 or 2 innings. So I really felt good about that, about the Oconee game.
You've become the Saturday man because the Oconee games were on Saturday and the Eagles Landing game was on Saturday also.
Right.
So this Saturday against Eagles Landing, looking for something good, right?
More than likely.
And looking for something good also Monday against the Rockdale Bulldogs as Cale Curtis will be starting that game. And, of course, as we mentioned, a 5 o'clock start from Riverside Park and Newton County High School. Let's look ahead to the remaining games on the Rams schedule. We talked about the Rockdale game on Monday, plenty. We'll talk about it, unless we're facing Rich Steen more than likely, and that game played in Snellville.
Okay, so, we won't have as much pressure on us to win. But I think Steen's still good against the first game, but I think he was at his best and we was at our worst. So I think if we're hitting the ball better, I don't think he'll be as tough, and I think we can handle him. I think he'll make some mistakes inside to some left-handed hitters, and we might be able to hit it over the short porch and right. So.
Kale, being a left-handed pitcher, you can certainly appreciate the accomplishments of Rich Steen. What are your thoughts about what he does best?
He really stays around the plate more than a lot of left-handed pitchers do. He has great control, a real good curveball, and he throws extremely hard.
Matt, how about the South Gwinnett offense?
They got a pretty good hitting club. Matt did a great job holding them down. Matt Pitt, that's one of his best outings all year. They have good. The 1 through 4 and 1 through 6 hitters are pretty good. They can hit, they make contact, they can hit and run on you, and steal a couple bases. But we got a great catcher, Brown, who's throwing them out. And so and like Rich has got a great curveball. He's got good control. He's like an Anthony Green we had last year. You love to have them on your pitching staff. And so he's a great pitcher. So he's going to Tech, I believe. And so we just need to play great against them there.
So, Lance, there's a possibility that you and Rich Steve might be teammates next year.
We talked about it. That's a possibility. Well, I wouldn't mind it.
Certainly a good, strong left-handed pitcher, but the Rams hoping for the victory there. Then after South Gwinnett, the Rams at home against the Brookwood Broncos on Friday. Another big sub-region battle as Brookwood, one of the battlers in the sub-region. Matt, what do you think the team strength is for the Brookwood Broncos?
They're hitting. They got good hitting. And their team defense, they got a great defense. But their pitching, we're supposed to face a lefty when we went up there and faced them, but he hurt his arm. And so we don't know if he'll be back or not. If not, then we'll face another righty because that's the only lefty they got. So if we face another righty, then we're going to be looking to hit them hard, make them make the plays. We're going to put the ball in play and make them make the play. So looking forward to that game.
Kale, do you see any major weaknesses in this Brookwood Bronco club?
Not really. They're really a good team. They have good defense and hitting, but as long as they throw it right, we'll score some runs. And as long as our pitchers hold them down to 1 or 2 runs, we more than likely will win.
Lance Shannon, your thoughts on our keys to win that game?
Well, we definitely have to do all 3 fundamentals right. We're going to have to hit, we're going to have to have good pitching, we're going to have good fielding, which usually we have to do that to be any sub-region team. We got a great sub-region. But just do them 3 things, and I don't think there's any team that'll beat us.
Then after that game, the Rams play a non-sub-region game on Saturday against Eagles Landing at 12 noon. Then on Monday, the final game of the regular season, the Rams take on the Shiloh Generals in Lithonia at Shiloh High School at 5 o'clock Monday the 18th. And this game really going to be one of the big ones. Could have sub-region implications in terms of a spot in the playoffs. And Kale, the Rams, a couple of years ago on a wild pitch, lost a game there and knocked them out of the region tournament, so they've had a little bit of trouble playing there. Your thoughts about playing at the Shiloh Stadium, which is sort of down in a valley with those swirling winds?
We always play good at Shiloh. We really hit the ball good there. So as long as they'll be throwing the lefty Tig Reader against us, but we hit him good at our place, and he really had a control problem there. So we should score some runs.
Matt, do you think that the Rams can hit Reader as well on Monday the 18th as they did this past time out?
Yeah, last year when we played them, we bunted a lot up there at Shiloh. And so what we need to do is put ball in play and make them make the plays. Like Rockdale Monday, you got to put ball in play and make Rockdale make the plays, because if we can't let him start to strike us out and sit us down, then they're going to get momentum. But back to Shiloh, Tig, I believe we can hit him, because I don't think he's as quality pitcher as Themes is, but he's a good pitcher and stuff. So.
Lance, you had a chance to see Tig Reader. Your thoughts about him in that first game and how he'll be the second time around?
I think the reason why we beat him the first game, and the reason if we be patient, we got to be patient at the plate. He's wild, but he's wild enough to be effective if you let him be. If you be patient at the plate and get some walks, and then we'll get some key hits and knock them in.
And just do me a favor and be sure that Glenn George doesn't have any of those 20-minute arguments, because last year we had one of those. It was about 25 degrees outside, and I don't think I've ever been so cold in my lifetime. But after the Shiloh game, of course, the region tournament at Brookwood High School, and we've talked about it before, the Rams always play well at Brookwood High School, and your thoughts about that continuing?
Well, it's got to continue, I hope so. I mean, yeah, we always do play good at Brookwood. It's a good, big field, but we got some good outfitters, and, we got a good defense to cover that much ground, so... Yeah, I think if we go up there, we'll compete, and I think we could take it.
One final question for you, Kale Curtis. Do you feel as if this Rams team has peaked yet, or are they about to peak, or are they going to as we head into the tournament?
Hopefully, I don't think we've peaked yet. I think we'll peak right going into the tournament, and hopefully we will, and we'll have to win some crucial games. But I don't think we've peaked yet. Talking
about crucial games, Matt Hyers, of the 4 games in the sub-region that remain, which do you think is the most crucial now?
All 4. Brookwood, South Gwinnett, Rockdale, and Shiloh. They're big games. All of them mean a lot, but definitely, I guess the South and Rockdale games right now are the big ones. But all of them, when you get in sub-region play, all of them are big. If this is a tough region that we're in, let's say you need to win all your games that you can, especially your home games. If you go on the road and you take one, then you have to play. But if you lose one at home, then you got to win like 2 on the road and make up for it. So every game now is going to be a big game from here on out.
And every team in the sub-region is a good, strong team. There are no weak links in Quad A South. Lance, your thoughts about the final 4 games of the year as a team? What are the Rams going to need to do to pick up a 4-0 or 3-1 record?
All right, there again, we need to win all 4. If we win all 4, we'll be number 1 seed going into the tournament. That's what we want. We want to win the sub-region tournament, and I think we need to peak. I think we need to go ahead and start peaking Monday, because this is time to do it. This and then the region tournament. And I think if we keep hitting the ball, we've hit the ball the last couple of games, I think we'll be all right. Our pitching will hold them down.
Well, guys, take the rest of the weekend off as we appreciate it, and the last two games, the tie against Burkbar and the win against Clark Central. Be sure to listen in on Monday as the Rams take on the Rockdale Bulldogs from Riverside Park, Newton County High School. It's now 11 o'clock and time for CBS News.